Hello, and welcome to the Habitat for Humanity-Spokane Homeowner Information Meeting. This presentation is going to go over a few key things. First, we're going to review a little bit about Habitat for Humanity, what it looks like internationally and what it looks like here in Spokane County. Then we're going to review the Homeownership Program as it is in Spokane County. We're going to go over how it works, the different elements of it, what you can expect if you participate in our homeownership program. Next, we're going to go over eligibility. What are we looking for in applicants? And then next, we're going to go over how to apply. If you're interested in applying, what do you need to do? Okay, first, we're going to go over Habitat for Humanity. Habitat for Humanity is a nonprofit organization that helps families to build and improve a place to call home. We believe that affordable housing plays a critical role in a strong, stable community. Habitat for Humanity is a large international organization, and when it's all said and done, Habitat International is the biggest home builder in the world. As of 2016, I think we had built 4 million homes to date worldwide. Here in Spokane County, we've been around since the 1980s, and we've built more than 300 houses since then in our community. Every kind of county, not every, but most counties in the United States have their own affiliates. So here in Spokane, we have our Spokane County affiliate, and so we serve all of Spokane County. Our mission: we seek to put God's love into action by bringing people together to build homes, communities, and hope. Habitat's vision is for a world where everyone has a decent place to live. With that being said, I want to highlight that we are an equal housing provider, and we will work with anybody regardless of their religious background or lack of religious background. How does it work? How do we do our home ownership program? So first thing first, we work with community partnerships to construct affordable, quality, safe housing. We do this by getting donations and discounts on land, building materials, labor, and support through volunteers from future homeowners and just community members. With these things, we're able to construct high quality housing at much below the cost of a regular home builder. Then we partner with folks who want to purchase these houses that we've built. They work through our program, which I'll get into in a little bit. And at the very end of it, they secure a mortgage from a third-party lender. So, right now we work a lot with STCU and Banner Bank as examples. At the end, we get them set up with a mortgage. And again, a mortgage is multiple parts. A mortgage covers the principal of the loan, the interest of the loan, the taxes of the loan, and also the homeowner's insurance. So we get them set up with a mortgage where the monthly mortgage payment is no more than 30% of the household income. And so that mortgage payment is set up to be affordable for the family. And once you've closed on the home, one of the beautiful things about our program is that if you go on to get a better job or a raise or something like that, your mortgage payment will still be based on the original 30%. So it won't go up. If your income goes up, your mortgage payment will not increase, which is a really nice thing about our program. You are able to pay the mortgage off faster, but it should not increase if you get better income. Moving on, a little bit more about our home ownership program. This is a timeline for our program. So first things first, you need to apply to our program and be qualified and be admitted into our program. Once you've been admitted to our program, you'll start with an orientation. This will introduce you to the different concepts, to the different requirements of our program. You'll meet the different staff who will be helping you throughout this process. You'll learn how to do the sweat equity, where to show up, just the minutia of the program. And you'll start working on sweat equity. This is a fancy way to say volunteering. So you'll start, a key kind of part of our program is needing to complete, right now, it's a minimum of 250 sweat equity hours or volunteer hours. This is done in a number of ways, and I'll kind of get into more detail about this later in the presentation. But the traditional way is by working on our build sites alongside our construction staff to help build your future home and other future homeowners' homes, which is a pretty exciting prospect. In addition to working on our construction sites, we have our store on East Trent that you can also work at for hours. Other things that you'll do in our program are participate in our homeowner education curriculum. This is a number of classes that cover material from home maintenance to homeowners insurance to estate planning and everything else that you might need to know before owning your own home. You do get hours, sweat equity hours for participating in these classes, and finishing the curriculum is a requirement to finishing the program. Another aspect of a program is that you will be meeting monthly with our homeowner services department staff to make sure that you are on the road to qualifying for a mortgage. So if there's work that you need to do on your credit score or paying off collections or what have you, this is the person who's going to sit with you and strategize about how you're going to achieve that. So the time that you're ready to close on the home, the lender is going to look at your finances and look on them favorably. A part of that process is saving up about $4,000 over the course of the program. This $4,000 is going to pay for the closing costs and the first year of homeowners insurance for your home. So this is an important thing. Everybody does it a little differently, but you can expect to do that over the course of the program. Once you've made good progress on the sweat equity hours, once you've made good progress on completing the classes and saving up towards your closing costs, once we judge that you're about 6 months out from closing on your home, we will you'll receive your land assignment. So Habitat builds a number of homes, and we will match you with a home that meets your need. That is, it has the appropriate amount of bedrooms, and if you have any sort of accessibility concerns or kind of alterations to the property because of a disability, those are things that we absolutely guarantee. Those are needs. We will match you with a home that meets your need. At that point in time, you can either choose to continue on after kind of viewing the property. You can choose to continue on and purchase that home, or if something is doesn't fit with you, you can choose at that point to leave the program, and you're always free to reapply. Once you've accepted your land assignment, then we start down the road towards finalizing the home loan and start essentially closing on your mortgage. During that process, we dedicate your home, which is essentially a big celebration with everybody who's worked on your home coming to celebrate you and your achievements. And then you close on your home, receive your keys, and move in. This process in total, on average, takes about a year. If you are really diligent and complete these criteria faster, then it might go a little faster for you. If you are very busy, that is okay, and you can kind of complete this in your own time. Moving on, basic qualifications. What are the basic requirements? And I want to say here, you might see some of these requirements and be discouraged and think, well, I do not fit that requirement, but I still want you to apply, because what I don't want to happen is I don't want somebody to disqualify themselves because they've judged that they don't qualify. I want us to be the final authority on whether you qualify or don't qualify, because the worst that can happen is that we say, all right, here are the red flags. Here's why you don't qualify right now. But along with that news, we will bring you lots of resources on community partners that are going to be able to help you fix those red flags. So again, please apply even if you're kind of on the fence about whether you would qualify. But here are the qualifications. We have 4 basic requirements. We're going to look at, do you have a need for more affordable housing? we're going to look to see if you have the ability to pay an affordable mortgage. And we're going to see if you are willing to partner with Habitat and kind of go through the program that we've already discussed. And additionally, we're going to look to see if you have lived or worked in Spokane County for the last 6 consecutive months. All right, a little bit more about the need criteria. It's very basic. If you are paying more than 30% of your family's income towards housing and utilities, or are doing something to make your housing situation more affordable, like renting a substandard unit that, it's in disrepair, but it's cheap. If you're receiving a rental subsidy, if you have a large family in a small space, if you are, have a roommate, if you're living with family, or if your family member has a special need in your current that your current housing does not accommodate. These are all things that check this need criteria box. Additionally, we are going to look for the ability to pay an affordable mortgage. So these are kind of basic lending guidelines. We're going to look to see if you have a stable, verifiable source of income. We're going to look at your debt to income ratio. So that is how much of your monthly income goes to paying off debt on a monthly basis. And then once we throw in our projected mortgage amount, what does that look like? Right now, we want that to be less than 45%. So we want the amount that you're paying for debt to be less than 45% of your monthly income. And that just protects you. That makes sure that you do not end up in a bad situation where you have too much debt, you're not able to pay it off. We don't want to put you in a home if it's going to be a burden on you. We do not look at credit at the immediate application. We will work with you over time to build your credit score up, but that is not one of the immediate sort of guidelines. We will look at alternative credit items like paying bills on time, things like that. We will kind of review collections and things like that. We do have a minimum amount of collections that are acceptable to us, but we will kind of go over that after looking at your credit report. The other thing is that if you have unpaid liens or judgments, those are things that are going to need to be paid off before we can fully accept you into our program. We do have a maximum income limit, which is 80% of the area's median income average. So that's showed here. As for the lower income, we just need to make sure that you're going to be able to pay a reasonable amount towards a mortgage. So we're just, for every size of family, that's a little different. But that's something that we will sort of adjudicate on a case-by-case basis. Willingness to partner. So this is stuff that we've kind of already gone over, but I'll just reiterate. So you have to be willing to put in roughly a minimum of 250 hours of sweat equity on our build site and in our store. You have to be willing to save up that $4,000 towards closing costs. You have to be willing to attend our homeowner education classes. You have to be willing to develop a budget and a debt repayment plan. If you do have collections, we want those paid off, etc. And just essentially, it's a matter of meeting us where we're at, attending, if we need to have a meeting with you, showing up, just being an active participant in the program. In return, we will build or renovate you a home, offer the one-on-one personalized guidance to make sure that you're successful in your ability to get a mortgage. And then we will walk you through that mortgage process and sell you the house on an affordable loan. A little more about sweat equity. So the majority of the sweat equity is done on the construction site, which I know that makes some people pretty nervous, but we have jobs for people of every ability level. We never want ability level to be something that is a barrier. So you can expect us to work with you on a very one-on-one basis to find sweat equity that is appropriate for you and your ability level. Additionally, to the construction site, we have our store, and you're able to complete your homeowner or your sweat equity hours at the store as well. In addition to that, anytime you spend in meetings, in classes, things like that, those are all sweat equity hours you are also getting. So again, anytime you spend interacting with Habitat while you're in our program, that's all time you're getting towards your sweat equity hours. We do have sort of a probationary period in the first 4 months where we want single applicants to complete 50 hours of sweat equity and dual applicants to complete about 75 hours of sweat equity. In addition, you can get hours donated to you from friends and family. If you're a single applicant, you can get 50 hours donated to you by friends and family. And if you are a dual applicant, you can get 25 hours donated to you by friends and family. So that does help a little bit in the completion of the program. Moving on, these are some really important bits about our program. So as I said earlier, we do land assignment based on need. And the way we figure out that by bedroom size is we look at the size of family. So we look at the size of family and we say, all right, when we look at the dependents of the applicants. So normally that is children under the age of 18, although dependents can also be elderly parents that you're claiming on your taxes or disabled adults that you're claiming as a dependent, things like that. But for the kind of classic kids under the age of 18, we are going to expect that every 2 kids of the same gender shares a room. And so we'll kind of just go off of that model. So obviously the smallest home size we build is a 2-bedroom house. So if you're just a single person or just a couple, that's going to be a 2-bedroom house for you. And then depending on the dependents that you have, we'll go from there. So if you have, for example, if you have 4 kids, say it's 3 boys and a girl. We say, all right, 2 of the boys share a room, the other boy gets his own room, and the girl gets her own room. And obviously you can kind of assign the rooms as appropriate, but that's kind of a model for how we're going to do the things. In that example, that would be a 4-bedroom house because the parents, 2 of the boys, 1 boy, 1 girl, all get, that's how we divide up the rooms. In addition, we have 3 areas that we construct homes in. The oldest area that we've been working in is in Deer Park. Those are newly constructed homes. In addition, we have a new neighborhood we are building in Airway Heights. Those are also newly constructed homes. And then we have a smaller program in the city of Spokane where we purchase pre-existing homes and we rehabilitate them. Each of these homes are constructed or rehabilitated with energy efficiency at the top of mind. Our newly constructed homes have highly efficient air conditioning and heating. They have their Whirlpool donates Energy Star, washer, dryer, water heater, electrical, kitchen appliances. So you are getting kind of a fully operational home with really high quality, brand new, energy efficient appliances, which is a pretty wonderful thing. In Deer Park, our houses are so energy efficient that a 2-bedroom home reports having between an energy bill between $300 and $400 a year, which is just really incredible. I mean, that's high energy efficiency. So our homes are really they are very high quality, and you can expect them, we want them to be affordable for you in the long term. So that's just a little bit about, a little bit of bragging on our homes. All right, next steps. So if this sounds like something that you want to pursue, I want to help you do that. The next step is to apply. So on this same page as this presentation on our website, you should find a downloadable PDF application. Feel free to download that, complete the application, and then give me a call. My contact information will be on the last slide here. Give me a call or an email, and we will set up a time to do an intake appointment. So essentially what that looks like is you collecting, filling out the application, collecting the supporting documents listed on the application. And then, at our intake appointment, you'll bring in what you've got. You can turn it in digitally if that's kind of what easiest for you. You can bring in the hard copies. I can make copies if that's what's easiest for you. I'm gonna bend over backwards to make sure that we can get all your documentation in. And then we're in our intake meeting. I'm going to review your application. If there's any clarifications that I need to make, I'll make those. You know, most of the time folks are missing a few documents here and there. It's not the end of the world if you don't have 100% of your documents. We'll just make a plan for how you're going to get those documents to me in a reasonable time frame. And then we will process your application. And let you know if you're qualified or not. If we find that you are not qualified, we will try our best to give you some guidance about what the red flag was, why we couldn't qualify you, and what you need to do in the future to qualify again. So we won't hopefully leave you high and dry without an explanation. Here is my contact information. Again, if you are wanting to set a intake appointment, please call me. If this digital PDF does not work for you and you need one mailed to you, or you just want to do the intake appointment, you know, get the paperwork some other way, let me know. We will be flexible and work with you to apply. You know, just give me a call or an email. Again, I want to thank you for coming, you know, for watching this video. And again, if you have any questions, I am a resource. So please give me a call or an email. Have a great day. Bye-bye.